Okay. When I was at the ashram, Gurmai used to say to us that there are natural abilities that we start to open into in our sadhana. These natural abilities are called siddhis. Siddhi. Siddhi. It is a Sanskrit word referring to these abilities, these natural ways that we can open up into and that they are available to everyone. And it might start out simply as noticing synchronicities, having a feel about something and then it reveals itself to be accurate. Aware of someone and they reach out and contact us. Aware of something before it happens. Experiences of a visionary nature, mystical abilities start to open up called siddhis. And she would say, when those begin to open up to us, be on the lookout for the likely possibility of being seduced by these abilities. And now, what I've become aware of over the years is because of the core belief within every human mind, I'm not good enough, I'm unworthy, our wanter will always try to find something to counter that core belief of being not good enough. So when these siddhis begin to open up, it's very likely to create an identity in them. Let's say you start to be able to communicate with beings that are no longer in a physical body. That's a siddhi. In the Western culture, we have names for those. I sometimes playfully call them the clairs, because there's, clairvoyant, clairaudient, clair, etc. All the clairs. I can't remember them all. It's a Western framework of referring to siddhis. Now, it's very likely, Gurmai used to say to us, to then be so seduced by these that you create an identity, and then she would say, if you do that, you get stuck there. And she said, in India, we have many false gurus. And this would be what happens, is they start to have some abilities, and they create an identity around it, and then they're stuck there, and then they're kind of operating from within that status, that identity, that way of getting positive regard from others, admiration and things like that. She would say to be on the lookout for this and to know that the siddhis are normal and that they can be allowed to flow through us in simple, natural, beneficial ways without needing to create an identity in them. Well, and she would say humility is the way home, is a way to be balanced in all of this. As the years unfolded, and after my 7 summers at the ashram, she moved me along to another teacher. And then for 4 more years, I had the great honor of exploring with 11 other teachers. And in that flow, in that 4-year flow, one day I was sitting in a gathering, and we were all sitting in a circle. The person opposite of me in the circle was having a dialogue with the teacher in this satsang setting. And suddenly, out of nowhere, I had this vision as I was looking at her. My eyes were open. And I had this vision of her holding a homemade teddy bear. Very sweet present that was made for her. You could feel this. And it was made out of some sort of natural material, like a burlap bag or something, very home style teddy bear, all tattered and loved and hugged. And as she's holding the teddy bear, right out of the heart center of the teddy bear, all of a sudden, a blue, round, illuminated gem, like a blue sapphire, round gem, emerged out of the teddy bear's heart, illuminating this white blue light. And it was wow. And right when I was wowed and amazed by what I just witnessed, they had completed their dialogue, and she was looking at me with a look that indicated she was interested in me telling her something or something. She was looking to me to speak with a gaze of, please share. All of this was nonverbal. And so I looked at the spiritual teacher, and the spiritual teacher was nodding to me to share. So I did. I shared the vision of the beautiful homemade teddy bear with the blue illuminated gem sapphire of loveliness emerging from the heart of the teddy bear. And she just started sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. And then she went quiet, and tears and a sweet, gentle smile on her face. And she was quiet for quite a while. And then when she opened her eyes, she shared with us, all of us in the gathering, sitting there together in that circle, that first of all, she was thanking me so much for what I had shared, and that when she was younger, a little girl, her grandmother had made her a homemade teddy bear. And there was a blue bead around the neck of the teddy bear that was sort of like a little necklace of the teddy bear, and the blue bead was right over the heart center of the teddy bear. And she said, when I shared this with her, her eyes went closed and she could feel her grandmother's spirit with her, letting her know that she was with her. Her grandmother had died. And she was so grateful. And that when her grandmother came to her, she communicated to her that she is with her and supporting her, and she's so proud of her. And this was such a beautiful experience that she was able to have. And it was a flow that was real and true and genuine. Well, as the days continued in this group where we were gathering together and sitting in circles and sitting in a big circle together, and then another vision happened. And then the final night we were gathered together at this week-long retreat, another vision happened for another person, and they were all real and genuine and very beneficial for the people that these visions that were coming through me would be shared with them. When that final vision, that final night happened, upon completion of it, the spiritual teacher looked at me and very lovingly and sweetly and tenderly thanked me and said, very, kind things about this, and then said to me, once again, thank you so much, Oracle. Uh-oh. Now I've been identified and anointed. I'm now, I now have an identity of the Oracle. Talk about an identity that would counter the core belief of I'm not good enough. So unbeknownst to me, within me, even though I had all those years with Guru Mai at the ashram, reminding us about the siddhis and to not be seduced by them and not create an identity in them. Well, bum, ba, ba, bum, 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 bum. Unbeknownst to me, I was now, had been pulled into an identity as an oracle. He then said to me after the satsang that he wanted me to meet with his teacher, and arrangements were made, and I went to meet with this teacher, and upon arrival there was, were very kind words said to me by this teacher, and we then had a satsang that night with the group of people that he had been sitting with. And during that satsang, another one of the visions happened for one of the students of this teacher. And it was a real and true and very impactful, beneficial vision for this person and his group. And after the satsang, he and I were sitting, and he had offered me some tea, and we were having our tea together. And he said, Mitch, I want to thank you for that vision that you shared. It was so beneficial, life-changing for them. Thank you so much. It was so lovely. And he paused and had another sip of tea and said, and did you notice it had an air of specialness to it? Uh-oh. There was a part of me that got defensive. Did you not get the memo? I'm the oracle. Did you not see my special hat? My name tag that says oracle. I've been sent to be with you and be the oracle, right? So I could feel that part of me being defensive. I didn't say anything about being defensive, because you wouldn't want to admit that because you're the oracle. An oracle can't be defensive. So I didn't, let any of that out. It was just happening within me. But there was also a part of me that was very aware that he was spot on. There was a part of me that realized, oh no, I have gotten pulled into this, haven't I? And I was remembering all the years with Guru Mai, and she would say, please try not to be seduced by the siddhis when they come online. So he also said this in his beautiful, kind way, after he said, and did you notice it had an air of specialness to it? Then he had another sip of tea and he said, and your voice changed and your posture shifted. Did you notice this? And I can't remember what I said because I was mostly just, stunned by this. So after our tea, before I went to sleep that night, in my dream journal, I asked for a dream to help me with this. Dear Divine Grace, I began my entry in my dream journal. Please tonight, let me have a dream that gives me a direct experience of this oracle situation. I need help, please, please. All my love, Mitch. I always write my dream requests like a love letter to Grace. So I put my dream journal beside the bed with my pen right there on top of the journal, ready to record whatever dream would arrive in reply to that dream request. Here's the dream that arrived. I'm in a location where that new teacher that I was with was in satsang with many, many students, and he was standing on a platform, a beautiful bamboo wood platform, circular in shape, lit from above, and there was 360-degree seating all around him. There were people sitting on the floor all around, in a circle, all around this platform. And then there were chairs, rows, concentric circles going out, out, out. And then there were people standing. So there was hundreds and hundreds of people at this gathering, all around him in all directions. And sometimes he's looking this direction, and sometimes he turns and looks this direction, to make sure that he looks in all the different directions, because people were all around him. And I'm behind the standing people. I'm barely even in the gathering. I'm sort of more just witnessing the gathering, and I'm behind everybody, behind all the seated people, and behind the chair people, and behind the standing people. And all that I'm doing as this dream opens up is trying to get his attention. Wherever he's looking, I instantly am there, but I'm always behind the standing people. But I'm trying to get him to see me, because if he could just see how much light I emanate, this oracle that I am, he'll announce me to the group, and I'll feel so good about being announced to the group by him to his group as the oracle. And no matter how hard I try to get him to see me, right as it's about to happen, somebody will adjust their position and they'll block the view. Or if that isn't the way that it gets blocked, right when it's about to happen, he'll turn away and look the opposite direction. So then I'll instantly, how in a dream you can be just in a new location instantly, I'll be where he's looking and he won't see me, and he doesn't see me, and he doesn't see me. And no matter how hard I try to get him to see me and announce me as the oracle, it just never happens. And I'm getting so frustrated and so annoyed at this and just so angry. And in that intense anger, I explode into a million pieces of ickiness and I recoalesce on the platform right in front of him. I'm sitting with my legs crossed on the platform, and he's standing right behind me, and I can feel the front of his legs up against my back as I'm seated on the platform. So I realize he's right there. So I look up, and as soon as our eyes meet, like a gentle atom bomb of light loveliness opens up, and everything is just pure loving light. He's an expression of this loving light. The platform I'm seated on and he's standing on is made of this loving light. All of the people sitting all around us, the ceiling of the building we're in, everything, all one loving light essence. And this reveal lasts for a long time in the dream. Just complete peace, complete loving light expressing itself as all these unique forms of people and walls and ceiling and platform and bodies, and just exquisite eternal truth. And then I can feel everything shifting from this totality of loving light essence back into more of a me, a separate me within that wholeness. And as it coalesces ever more into a me, I now am identified as me, and I've now experienced the truth, and I want to make sure that he knows that I know about the loving light essence, oneness. So now there's a someone that wants something from him, validation. I want to make sure that he knows that I know about the truth. So I look up and I say, Adya, Adya, it's true, it's true. And he looks at me with a gaze of absolute love and intense, fierce grace, all in one look, and says to me, yeah, so what? Exactly. As soon as he said that, yeah, so what? It just melted all the need for specialness. Just couldn't even remain amidst that pure, true expression, in that longing to be recognized. Adya, Adya, that was going on for me. Adya, Adya, calling to him. Adya, Adya. It's true, it's true, it's true. Yeah, so what? And in the melting of that need for specialness, there was just pure humility, pure, simple, absolute love. And I adjusted my position on the platform in a full pranam to him, to all of the people gathered together, aware that all are Shiva. There's only Shiva, only the absolute source. And we are that. It's that simple, and it's that elegant, and it's that profound, all at once. And I woke up from the dream, wrote down all the details in my dream journal with such gratitude, tears of gratitude, as I wrote the details of the dream, and so grateful to all that had been experienced with all of this. That morning we had breakfast together, and he said to me, have you considered what I shared with you last night when we were having tea? And I said, yes, I want to let you know I'm so grateful for how gently and beautifully you invited me to see where I had become captured in and identified as the oracle. Thank you so much for the gentle and kind way that you invited me to see what I wasn't able to see. I'm so grateful. And he shared that he too had had an experience like that as well, and how natural and likely it is to get pulled into those identities that we would create around the siddhis, and that the lovely possibility is for us to be able to help each other when that does happen, and invite each other to see beyond the need for an identity and realize that anything we would look for externally is only truly revealed within. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.